The Yamaha Virago is one of the most popular cafe racers to build. However, the Yamaha Virago has one major drawback. So that brings me to here in the garage, where we have purchased a new motorcycle, specifically another Virago. If you don't know, currently we are working on a little bit of a Virago cafe racer project, which I will have an update for sooner than later. There's been a lot of progress that's gone on and I haven't made a video on it. That's a different story for a different time. But that brings me to the motorcycle that's sitting behind me. The reason of buying this motorcycle is strictly for the parts. So the Virago makes an awesome cafe racer for multiple reasons. Number one, it has a removable subframe. There's no cutting involved. You can simply buy a cafe racer subframe and bolt it on, which makes it so much easier to modify into a cafe racer, a scrambler, whatever you want to do, because you can unmount the original subframe and mount up a cafe racer or a custom subframe about whatever you want to do. It makes it easier than something compared to like a Honda CX, which is probably one of the most popular, if not the most popular cafe racer. I'd argue the Virago and the CX are the two most popular out of the two, but something like the CX that surprisingly we actually have sitting here, you have to cut part of the frame. There's no cutting, there's no welding, there's nothing really involved in a Yamaha Virago, which we have sitting right here, because the subframe literally just unbolts from here. Another benefit of the Yamaha Virago is that in the 1981 model year, which is what this is, and the other Virago that we have, it has a monoshock from the factory, which makes it even more easier because people take a bike like that Honda CX over there and they swap for a monoshock. This bike already has a monoshock and it has a removable subframe. Which brings me to the title of this video. Why is this half taken apart, missing a ton of pieces, Yamaha Virago, a gold mine for cafe racer builders? Well, let me explain. This bike, it may not look it, but just two pieces of this bike are worth over $1,000. And let's just say I bought it for significantly less than that. So the thing with this bike is that the Yamaha Virago is a shaft drive. Being a shaft drive, it is very hard to do certain things like change the wheels into spokes. Spoke wheels, in my opinion, make or break, or can make or break certain bikes. The Yamaha Virago, I think, looks 10 times better with spokes on a cafe racer. I'll throw up some pictures of a spoke bike and a bike that doesn't have spokes. The bike without spokes doesn't look bad, but the bike with spokes just has that kind of vintage feel that you're kind of going after in a cafe racer build. So the problem with the Virago is it didn't come with spoke option from factory. There's only a certain hub that fits the Yamaha Virago that you can use the spokes with. This isn't that hub. This is a hub that has been modified, changed, and actually machined to fit onto this Virago. I have to go back and look at what this is, but there's a certain year hub that you have to find in order to get the Virago to actually fit. These spokes are from Buchanan's in Los Angeles, so this wheel itself is worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So when I saw this bike for sale, or when my dad actually found this bike for sale, he's like, look at this, we have to get this because this will pretty much make our cafe racer build. So this is why it's an absolute gold mine, because it already has the hub and it already has the spokes on a Yamaha Virago, exactly like how we have it. So literally all we have to do is, if we wanted to use these spokes for our bike, just take the wheel off, take the hub off, and change it onto that bike, which is so convenient because I think that's what we might do. We have a couple of different ideas that we might do with this bike, so we'll kind of see what happens. The front we're having some issues with because it doesn't have a brake. It was made to be like a flat tracker, so we have to find a way to mount the brake to this, get the proper spacing and everything on the custom front end that we have. We already have a front end on that bike. Otherwise, I think we would just use this one. This has a Ninja front end on it, which is pretty convenient in itself. The Ninja front end is worth about $500, so if I wanted to, I could piece that out for about $500 and recover pretty much all the cost of the bike, which is pretty cool, so we get spokes essentially for free. But if someone was to build a cafe racer, you would have to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars, spend tons of time on the internet just to find that rear hub and to get the wheels. So to find this just kind of on Facebook Marketplace for a pretty affordable price was definitely a gold mine and something that is going to help build our bike tenfold. As far as what we do with the motor and the frame, if we do decide to use these spokes and the hub on our bike, you guys will just have to wait and see. Whether this motor fires or not, we have no idea. We saw a video from the guy we bought it from that he was riding it about 2 or 3 years ago. Who really knows if something happened after that or during that or whatever. You know, it's been years. I assume it's gonna fire up. The problem with this bike is the wiring is literally everywhere because the subframe, which is missing from this bike currently, holds the wiring. But another good thing with this bike is this swing arm is fully removable. The swing arm is freshly powder coated, so we can literally just dismount this swing arm and put this swing arm on our new one because it saves us from having to powder coat a new swing arm. On the other bike, we have to clean it up, probably take it apart. We're getting a rough draft build for it for those who are interested in that build. I will make a video kind of when spring comes around a little bit and I can take the bike off. The bike is currently having a new front end subframe is being mounted. We're waiting for some screws to come in and the subframe will be in. Once the subframe is in, I think we're gonna try to fire it, try to ride it once the weather is kind of a little nicer, so I'll make a video at that point. I'll do my best to explain everything that we've done, how we've done it, and how you can kind of replicate it to my best ability in the video, even though it's kind of skipping a few parts, but I think it makes more sense to have a 8 to 10 minute video than a 3-minute video, 3-minute video, 3-minute video, and then all of the content kind of getting lost. But this is very exciting. We have an extra motor now, an extra frame now if we do need parts, but at the same time, I don't really think we're gonna need too many parts, so we'll kind of see what happens and what we want to do going into the future with the rest of the bike, because there is a Ninja front end. We do have another stock front end if we wanted it. If we wanted to use this front end for a different project that we have, we could do that. So there's a lot of things. We also have a couple of spare parts for this bike. It's missing pipes right now, etc., etc. So possibilities are pretty much endless at this point in time. Let me know what you guys think about the spokes. If you're a Yamaha Cafe Racer builder, you think that this would be worth picking up if it was under $1,000. I think it's worth picking up. I can literally sell the parts if I wanted to, but that's not something I want to do. I picked it up because I saw the possibility to make a project that we're working on better. That's all I have for this video though. If you guys did enjoy, leave me a like, subscribe to the channel to see the Yamaha build, to see what we do with this. So if you guys want to see if this actually fires up and runs, which would be a huge added bonus because we have a running motor, pretty much only bought it for this, and then the front end came with this, so that was nice. So I guess we'll see what happens, but make sure to subscribe and I'll see you guys in the next video.